Hi everybody, it's Kathy here and it's Thursday night, so that means we are keeping it simple sometimes. Come and scrapbook with me. Remember last week when we created this amazing layout of all of our scraps and used a paper punch to do a border? Well, we're going to now put it into action. So I have these 3 photos and I've gone through my scraps and I've pulled together some cardstock in the blacks and the pinks to highlight the colours of the layout, and I'm just going to match my photos quickly. And this is a great way of using up all those scraps that you have lying around from the ends of layouts. So I'm just double matting some of the photos and single matting the others, and that will put them together. Now these photos are of my daughter, taken at Christmas time when we were in the city and we're in St. Mary's Cathedral. And she was lighting a candle for my dad, her pop. It has been a bit of a while since he passed, not that long, but a bit of a while, not like 2 years. And at Christmas time especially is when we miss him the most. So just matting this up, and this one I'm using leftover pieces from the base that we created, and I'm just going to use it to create a staggered matting for this one. And that's another way of adding interest to your layout by just putting in a half mat, not a full mat. So now that I've got the 3 photos down, as you can see, nice and easy, this layout is very quickly coming together. And that's the beauty of having a pre-made base. You can actually just create. So I've gone ahead and I'm thinking I need a little bit more added to the top of this photo here. So I'm creating 2 half tags, which I'm going to tuck in underneath this photo. And that's an easy way of creating a feature, and that is why I kept those extra bits. So remember last week when we made this, and I'll put a video link up the top here for you to go and watch it and see how we pulled it together. Well, this is how I used those leftover pieces that I paper clipped to this layout until I was ready to do it. I'm just going to use a white pen here to add some faux stitching to make that stand out across the border, and I'll use my black one here for this one. And you can see that I'm just putting the faux stitching onto those fishtail banners, and that's just adding another point of interest, but lifting it up off that very dynamic background with those moon cycles there, or phases of the moon. So I just thought I'd draw in a messy border here, and then I will put in some faux stitching, and I'll repeat it down the side as well to keep that pattern happening with that colour of paper cardstock. So this is how quick and easy you can create a very bit of a stylish layout with your leftovers from previous layouts. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to add in these pink mulberry flowers that I have in different shades of pink, and that's just going to build a basic cluster for this layout and add points of interest for your eye to roam around. I've got a paper punch in the shape of a leaf, which I'm also going to add to this layout, and they're going to tuck in behind these little flower clusters. Mulberry flowers are an older product, and you probably have a lot lying around, and if you don't, you can use a paper punch to create them quite easily. And just tuck those little leaves in there, as you can see, and this is how you can create such a quick and simple cluster. Remember with your clusters that all the elements need to touch, so that they stick together and look like they are meant to be together, not just hanging there by themselves. I'm just going to put some pops of colour into the centre of these flowers, and I need one more set of leaves up there at that top single flower just to fill it out and finish that off there. Now I'm using a pink pops of colour, and I do like pops of colour because once you flatten them they look like faux enamel dots, and that's always nice on the layout. So, and they're actually quite cheap to buy a bottle of pops of colour, so if you're looking for a good way to get enamel dots onto your layouts with a limited budget, then I would suggest getting those. Now I'm using some foam thickers here, and I'm just putting in the title. These ones are a black sparkly thicker, and I actually like them, and I'm running out of letters on them, so I had to think what I was going to put so that I could use up what was left and it still made sense. So I'm putting in here the title, thinking of Pop, so showing Lily at the altar at lighting the candle. So this has come together really easily. It looks very effective, and you can do this as well. So I'd be interested to know in the comments down below if you are creating the bases along with these and are getting some layouts into your albums based on these simple structures. So there's a quick look at that layout, and at the end we'll come back and touch base. So now for our next one, ready for next week. I have used this piece here that I had pulled a circle from for my layout earlier in the week, and I'm going to now fill in that circle with leftover pieces from that previous layout. And because it is so bright and colourful, it's going to be an interesting layout to work with. Now, these papers are flimsy, and so therefore I'm going to need to just mat them so they fit and support each other. Now, my circle is a 7-inch circle, and I'm just going to make sure that I can line it all up and build it together. And I just need a little bit of an extra strip, and I have this line here which I actually like, and that's another point of interest that will be in this collection of colour in behind the circle, which you will see when I turn it over in a moment. Now, you might be thinking this is a little bit bizarre, and I know I am, but you never know what will turn out. Look at the one that I did just then. Who would have thought that would have come together into such a nice layout? So I'm just sealing that, and you won't be able to see it because of the yellow. And once I've put in elements next week, hopefully that will all be covered up, and it will look like it's never been sliced down the center to get that circle out. And there I have that circle in the bright colors there, and look at that. There you go, nice new layout ready to go. I'm just going to put some washi tape across here to make sure that it is solid and that it is flat on the layout and the layout won't come apart. And just putting that washi tape along that cut there for extra support. So that's how quick and easy this one's come together. I'm going to keep the pieces that I've cut from the leftovers because I'm sure we will use them somewhere in that layout next week. So have a go at preparing a base, get ready to scrap next week. Keeping it simple, I can do any of those 4 ways with that layout. I'd be interested to see. Here's the one we did today, up nice and close. These came out so pretty and very, very quickly, as you saw. So the beauty of a pre-made base is that it does keep it simple. Thanks for watching once again. Playlist link down below, and here's my next video recommendation for you. Happy scrapping till next time.